Is it kind of bad that I kind of like forgot what we were watching?
Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Gosh. Oh yeah, that's right. See, okay, I think it was at our friend Damone's house, and it was me, Damone, and a bunch of our other friends bored, and we're just like, let's just watch this movie. And it was a fun time. I remember having a lot of fun watching it, but I don't remember the movie at all.
So it's established that already in this world they're familiar with zombies.
Yeah,
Word.
like zombies are like a thing in like an established thing already that these people are protecting themselves against like for years.
Got you. So he's like the almost like the Van Helsing, so to speak. This guy seems like he's a very specially skilled individual.
Yeah, like he has skin in the game basically.
Hell yeah.
That was a dope shot.
That was really dope. I like that.
I also love this intro of how they explain it. But yeah, it's really cool and
now I'm laughing because I've seen Lily Collins and I'm like, yeah, this is Pride and Prejudice. I forget this is Pride and Prejudice. This is mad awkward. I'm thinking about it modernly. You're at this big get-together where your parents are also there, and they're like, hey, meet this girl, meet this guy. Yeah. You guys want to get married?
It's like their parents are trying to shop them around, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so Lily Collins is the only one, or God damn it, Lily James. Lily James. There we go. Man is about his business. Mr. Darcy, let's go.
He's all about business, this man, Mr. Darcy. Like, if you just showed me just like this party scene and just say this was Pride and Prejudice, like the actual like adaptation without the zombies, I would believe you.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I believe it. So they're sentient.
Yeah. Again, that's really cool.
Oh! I kind of wish that. Well, hold on. Yeah.
Hold on. This is why I love this movie. Because even though, yeah, it's like, quote-unquote, feeble women in their relationships, they're extremely capable as, like, zombie killers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Her face is rendered uncommonly intelligent by the beautiful expression of her dark eyes. And I'm forced to acknowledge her figure as both light and pleasing. And that her arms are surprisingly muscular, yet not so much as to be unfeminine.
Bruh.
Darcy.
That's the moment he's in love with her. Is like, yo, the way she kills zombies, she speaks to my heart. Also, I love their sister, like their sister camaraderie. It's very nice.
Very Pride and Prejudice.
Very Pride and Prejudice. Oh shit.
Clutch. Damn. Yes.
Woo. Oh, he's like, I'm fucking ready. I'm gonna impress the shit out of this girl by killing your sister.
But she caught the fly.
These belong to you.
Ooh, this man is like, oh, I'm gonna marry this woman.
I'm married this woman.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They all pull out the gat.
May I inquire as to the nature of this discomfort? I would much rather give you a demonstration.
That goat.
Look at him smiling. He's like, yo, where have you been? What are they peeking in?
What are they peeking at?
Oh!
Oh,
yeah,
shit!
It's our
Is that
boy
Matt Smith?
Yeah, it's Matt Smith.
No, yeah, why, yes. She is almost as fair as the other one.
Oh, asshole. Jesus.
Excuse me. I'm going to use my English accent for the rest of this movie just because I feel like it is quite appropriate. Yes.
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 Did he just try to hold her hand and she's just like, no?
Yeah, he did.
I survived, Janie. Not in the traditional sense of the word.
Yo.
Wow.
They do that head explosion too well.
Pride.
And Prejudice. Oh shit,
Ah.
she's smitten a little bit.
You think so?
I mean, that laugh will say otherwise. But here's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
When the expert zombie killer says not to throw a ball, don't throw a fucking ball.
I concur.
I concur.
I concur wholeheartedly, sir.
It's my cousin.
Oh. Wait a fucking minute.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Did we miss something? Hold
I
on.
think we did. How the hell is this her cousin? I know times are tough, but I don't think this is a solution.
Typical Victorian era English people, inbreeding, lovely.
Yes. No nonsense, Darcy. Deadly Darcy.
I think also I remember that was like what interested me about like the underlying plot, like why all of these zombies are like communicating to Elizabeth.
It's not only her, is it? I don't think so.
For the most part, I think most of the zombies have been. She's been noticing that they've been talking to.
Yeah, she has
like
been
that,
the only one that they've been like really like stopping and talking to.
Yeah.
Before like their head gets blown off.
Yeah.
Why is he so extra? For real. I understand the extra when it comes to like being like. Did you just smell her?
Did you just smell her? What the fuck? Yeah, this is where the plot begins.
Gaston.
This man said Gaston. I'm
Yo,
dead.
look at him though.
He looks like Gaston, bro.
What is this, Wayne Manor? What the hell is this?
I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Deals with the lore, the fact that like the only way they can actually fully become zombies is by eating humans.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's
a good, it's a great piece of information for us to like. Okay, like the rules of the universe, like that makes sense. Like, oh, okay, gotcha.
And obviously, like the crown and like the parliament or whatever the fuck doesn't know about this because they don't care. They just want to kill zombies as much as possible.
Right. It's just like if they cross the bridge, kill them. Otherwise, what they do over there is none of our business.
That my chance of happiness with him is as fair as most women can hope for. And
Bruv, you were the third draft pick.
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh, okay. Here's the thing with me, right?
Okay.
I love the concept of like the Book of Revelations and shit, like in the Bible with the four horsemen. I love those type of like mythology and characters. It's really cool.
Sorry, before you were rudely interrupted.
Yeah.
Well, what about it has you like?
I don't know what it is, man. I just think it's interesting that like before like seeing the four horsemen is like the sign of like the world ending and shit. And the fact that each horseman is a
different aspect
is an aspect of like the pending doom. I think it's really cool.
Word.
They even Darcy and Elizabeth even deal with their anger the same way. They just slash shit.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Good production design though.
Very
throughout
well.
the whole movie, it's been very good production design.
There are some words I must say.
Get it out.
please do be seated.
I love you.
Oh.
Oh fuck. No, I'm gonna cut this nigga. I'm gonna cut him. What is happening? Are they Mr. and Mrs. Smithing it?
Yes, they definitely are. All right, Darcy, it's time to get some sad boy hours in.
Honestly, there gotta be some sad boy hours in this movie, man. Come on.
Yeah, you go for a swim, Pop. Clear your mind.
That fucking that meme where that fucking African guy is like,
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
No, he's English. What's a good name for him?
George.
George. All right, George. No, he's a Henry, bro. This is a Henry.
Good way to like decapitate someone is by like taking two katanas and using them as scissors.
Oh, for sure. Anakin did that to Count Dooku. I'm pretty sure this is the same thing.
Here's the thing, like if they just blow up the bridge, won't they all just be trapped there? Like,
so the zombies or the people?
I mean the people.
No, Because like the zombies are in the center in London, and they created that moat around it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, like it's just like these two English people, one's wielding a katana, one's wielding a freaking like wushu sword. Hilarious.
All right, Blade.
Yo, what? I want my Blade crossover, bro. Come on.
I fed them.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is that Darcy wanted to fuck up his plan by like turning all of the content zombies into actual zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets rid of
shit.
Wickman. No zombies' ability to conspire, and then it's just they just die off, I suppose.
Yay, she loves him.
Wake up, Darcy. I'll
She
marry
loves him,
you.
yeah.
He's gonna be like,
That's the woman. He's actually like not dead. He's just closing his eyes, waiting to say that she's actually gonna marry him.
no.
Oh, he didn't actually die, does he?
Where's the horse, bro? That horse was gone.
That's the real question. Where's the horse at?
Bro.
What you said to me on Hingham Bridge.
I told you, this man just had his eyes closed.
You called it.
You are the love of my life, Elizabeth Bennett.
You known her a month.
So you're telling me the guy who wanted both of these bitches and didn't get him is the one who's doing the ceremony? That's so funny.
And this is a lesson in disguise here as well.
Yeah, don't be weird and don't try to marry your cousin.
Big facts. Or rose petals. Damn. Okay. Get a
Oh my
room.
God, they haven't stopped since when they walked to this area. They just been making out the whole time.
Oh, this snogging. My God. Oh, there he is. He's still
Snogging.
alive.
Again, if you just showed me this frame of the movie and said this is the actual Pride and Prejudice adaptation, I would believe you.
Yeah. Bro, Pride and Prejudice? Yeah. Oh, that's it? Oh.
What? That's
okay.
happy ending.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that was a pretty happy ending. Word.
Yo, I want to make a note real quick. So when you mentioned that like she looked very Keira Knightley, right?
Yeah.
So in the actual book adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley is the one that plays Elizabeth.
In the book Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the adaptation that came out, I think in 2005.
Yes. I remember on the cover it's for Pride and Prejudice, she's in the movie too.
Yeah.
Looking at it right now.
Yeah. Am I ever gonna watch that movie? No. I'm not. All right, I guess. This is the only Pride and Prejudice that matters to me.
Yo, you know what? Same. This one was such more engaging.
The only Pride and Prejudice, like even the book, the only Pride and Prejudice I will actually read is the zombies version of the book. I will not touch the actual like literary book. I'm good, but
facts. I'm good. You know, I had fun and I cared about their story. I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it would at least this book or the book / the movie actually just is Pride and Prejudice, but with zombies, and like they could have easily deviated from the actual novel, easily, like you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
they said, nah.
No, they actually took the important elements of the book and then made it work in like this zombie story. Like this, like when the movie's titled Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, like when you watch it, you kind of you get the sense of that because like it's still Pride and Prejudice, it's still the exact same story, but just with zombies.
It's a little tweak that really goes a long way. The story is pretty much the same. If you don't like the zombies, well, now you have Pride and Prejudice. If you feel like original story needs a little bit more for you, well, now you got zombies. It's like
that's true.
It's a good middle ground, I gotta say. And no character is ever written so poorly. You kind of like, fair enough, we were talking, but even still, you can kind of still follow along, and like the little dramatic moments, They still hit. Talking about Darcy was like, nah, you are not marrying this woman, bro. She does not want you. She wants your wallet. Talking about It's like, damn, that's some drama right there.
And even then, you're still like, ooh. Like,
exactly. Like, whoa, where's the tea? All right, bet.
But this movie, I like it. I really like it, actually. I think what actually like shines for me is I think the cast is really good. Like I just like the cast for this movie. Like I think Lily James does a really good job as Elizabeth, and not just like as Elizabeth like from like the novel, but like just this badass like this badass woman, and actually like taking like she's like taking like the independent woman that is Elizabeth, which I assume is in the novel as well, like actually translating that into her of actually like being a like actual like badass woman is very interesting.
I would agree. I feel that her, Elizabeth and Fitzwilliam, for the two of them, they were the high points. They felt like their characters out of everybody was the most fleshed out. They had their own individual characters, and you can clearly tell that they mirrored each other with certain things that you could tell, like, they understand each other, but they also have their own convictions and their own ways of doing things that once it actually comes down to the drama part, they're there, like their whole confrontation where they're fighting. It's like they are both completely honest people, but they also have, they're not so obsessed about love like how everybody else is.
Like marriage.
They're more concerned for like the bigger picture kind of stuff, like their family, their friends, or the upcoming zombie apocalypse. And it's great, but it's also just a nice juxtaposition that you have all these people that are like, oh, you should marry. I hear this gentleman here has quite the fortune. So
but he's like, nah, I want a girl that could just kill the shit out of a zombie. That's my girl right there.
Facts, bro. He dissected her abilities so quickly and so well. Like it was like, damn, bro. Yeah, you like this girl. He said, oh
which, like, I guess, like in the Emily Dickinson novel, like I guess, like that, it's like that version of that is just like maybe her just being more outspoken or just more independent. But in this one, it's just like, nah, like she just kills zombies real good, and like and like that, like, and like she wants to be more of a protector than like the typical like housewife that everyone else wants the other sisters to be as. So like I just think that's like very interesting, and like it's a really good element to add there. So
the theme itself is of independence, but where you go with that, of course you can easily just have it be like against zombies or self-protection or anything like that. I mean, because like her cousin that was trying to like second time around talking about I believe it is you that I'm supposed to marry. It's like he's like, yeah, we won't have weapons in the house. We're not gonna do any of that like uncourtly things. And she was just like, no, bro, what are you talking about? You're gross.
You're gross. Like, get the fuck away from me.
I was like, oh god, this is great. This is great. For what are your high points? Like, what do you feel like? Well, if I had asked this more directly, in the aspects of this movie, what would you feel is what stands out to you the most, if you haven't already said it? And what would you, and let's be a little unbiased here, and what's something that you feel stands out the least, or something that is like on the lower end of the spectrum?
Let me see. I think a highlight is just I love the lore in this movie. Like the lore is like very interesting in terms of like how zombies function in this world, like the rules of like how these zombies work, as well as like how this Victorian era society has to deal with zombies and their within their like society, and in terms of like the limitations like of like of their like their infrastructure and like technology, like with zombies, like I think that thing too, like I think it's like the first zombie movie where it deals with zombies like in like the past rather than like in the present, because usually like in typical zombie stuff we'd use like we have guns, like we have like semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons that can take care of zombies, and like and there's other like technology and stuff like that like modern stuff that like that we see in zombie stuff where like they're able to take care of zombies easily. But here, like they're using more old-fashioned methods. They're using like the flies. We think the flies is such a cool idea to like detect when a person is infected, because like sometimes you can't initially tell when someone's turning, which again, like in is his Walking Dead example. Like easily, like if someone's been, they can easily hide it until like until like they finally turn and then cause problems for everybody else. But here, like no, they have like an early detection system where like the flies can detect a zombie, they can detect a person, an infected person before like they fully turn. What I think is like that's really cool.
Right. I agree that little bit of detail is just enough for everybody. Like anybody knows that when there's like a rotting corpse or anything along those lines, flies are usually like the first things that you see or you hear. And to double that, in any other situation, you wouldn't know. Like you said, somebody's infected until they're already fighting or attacking people. But who like the points between getting bitten and the points of becoming a full zombie, that is such a like a gray area there that it's great that you have these flies to just jump in and we can easily go, okay, yeah, I can believe that they can detect decaying flesh sooner than we can, just because it's like, I suppose it's hardwired into a fly's nervous, or like the way they operate.
Exactly.
It's so easy and understandable that it's just that good. And it's such a great point that you mentioned that.
Yeah, and also like it was especially like in terms of like the backdrop, how like this world is set up.
Conversely,
Like they use like the way they use like the way people are trained to defend zombies it was a way like they used to represent classism in terms of like people that are gonna be sent to China are gonna be like more middle class, like maybe like upper middle class people, more of like the wealthier people that are like more higher society are gonna go to Japan to train instead. And like how each side views the other side in terms of like, oh, like you're training like China, gross, or you're training Japan, you're stuck up as shit, like fuck off. Like I think that I find very interesting as well.
Yeah, because honestly, like I think that it would still find its way somehow within this new society. Like everything adapts, even like the bad parts about the society at the time of the classism. Like it's just another one of those things where it's like, what can we do to help separate us from you? Well, you went to China, we went to Japan. It's like, damn.
Exactly.
Even the
exactly
littlest things.
Simple. Like, and what else? What was a high note from the thing? Oh yeah, the biblical, like the fact that like like this new evolution of zombies is like introduced here, like the more like cognitive ones, involving like Mr. Wickersham, what's his name?
Wickman,
yeah, Wickham, with his character. That's really cool. The biblical undertones too. Listen, I love biblical undertones that involve the apocalypse. So I like that they integrated that here as well. The look of the zombies, like they just look like the practical effects, like the makeup looks so good here. And it's not like too. I mean, there's moments where it can be like very. It's like there are moments where these zombie designs are very over the top, but like it's not too much all the time. Where like you see like in some other zombie movies that are like trying too hard to like gross you the fuck out.
Yeah. It's like gnarly, kind of nasty shit. You kind of got that a little bit in the beginning when that one girl, when her nose and part of her face was gone, she has like that nose bubble that pops. I was like, okay, that's a little gross. But everything past that has usually just been like scarred up faces, missing skin, stuff that's like disgusting, but with the overall tone of the movie and how they've always been represented, it's like, okay, this isn't like too crazy. You know, your jaw's not hanging by the handle, or you don't have like skeleton fingers where your skin used to be, or anything that's just like too like gross. But I have to say that before we get on to the rest of the high points, one thing that I want to say about the Four Horsemen part is that I feel like it was either underused or used too late or used too lightly, because we saw them, and then I think they were just there to signify that Wickman was a bad guy, because we see them in the graveyard, and then you got these guys with gold faces and they're at the church, but nothing more of them is like there. Like I don't know, like maybe if we saw them even earlier, and maybe if there was like 4 different guys that unknowingly to us were like, oh, you know, these girls are trying to marry these guys, but these guys are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I would have liked if like Darcy was like one of them, and we like find out at the end, and you're like, oh shit.
That's the thing. I think that would have been really cool. Would have been like these 4 horsemen that like, you know, we see later on aren't like actually the Four Horsemen. They're just like these. They're like these like very like evolved zombies that are part of like the
Yeah.
St. Lazarus Church that are perceived to be the Four Horsemen by like the St. Lazarus like religious cult. Know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like we actually like see them like in action. They could be like a little mini boss fight for like the girls to like or Darcy and like this army to like face. And I think you're right. I think that it was kind of underused a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's how I would have interpreted it.
I like that. I like that better, actually. If Darcy was one of them, it kind of would have had to like go over loops and hurdles just to get the story to make sense. And if you just have them be this basically almost like second tier zombies underneath Whitman being the top one, it would have added something nice. Maybe like see. This kind of all just keeps coming out, and the more I think about it, the more I was like, yeah, if Pride and Prejudice and Zombies was a limited series where they could flesh all this stuff out, oh yeah, I definitely watch this.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I feel like just to the nature of like the story and like this like the book and like some of the stuff they try to cram. I guess that's a low point is that like there's so much they try to cram in this movie that like even though we were talking through the movie like. I couldn't catch some of the things that was happening, like in terms of like the whole like the father plot between like Mr. Wickham and Darcy. I didn't really catch that much. Like some of the other stuff that was happening through like the relationships that were going on and stuff they try to cram as much of the story from the book as possible into like a how long was this movie? Like it wasn't even that.
It's an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, like I feel like if they just picked and choose like what was important and what wasn't, that would have been better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just me. I mean, like, but granted, like I might need to rewatch this again just to follow everything. But that was like a low point. The movie was too dense.
That's fair because the only time we get any actual explanation of what happened, it's alluded here and there by Whitman about their past, but then until he actually writes the letter to Lily to Lily Elizabeth, until he actually writes that, we don't know what happens until then he explains through exposition everything that happened, and then they give us the flashback and why he has problems with Whitman, and then after that it's just like, okay, well, here's why. Now we're heading to the final act. And that could have been had a little bit more of a time to shine in a slower pace, possibly. Like it could have always been the the prologue. This quick scene of like, okay, we got one character here, we got a father, we got an adopted son, and then they use that to explain the whole zombie situation if they wanted to do that. It didn't need it. The way the movie started, I was like, I understand exactly what's going on. But if they wanted to stretch out, or rather give that story a little bit more time to shine and give it more of a place in the audience's mind, that once it comes to the end, you're kind of already piecing the piece together and you're right along with it. Like maybe if this was like 2.5 hours, I could see them doing it. Yeah. Before talking about any of the, well, kind of already did, but my high points would just be how well the dramatic and the action story complement each other. They don't get too much in each other's way, and when one thing is going on, you can stop all the action, all the horror, and it's just this drama about marrying families, and then it comes back around, but it doesn't come back around in a way that really ruins it. There's moments here and there that are there's moments here and there where I was curious how, like, it raises questions about the world, and they seem to have Seth, right? Yes. Yeah. Seth Grahame-Smith. Seth put a lot of interesting detail in the world building, which helps bounce off of this drama story. It's clear that the guy probably read Pride and Prejudice and then was like, nah, I can make this a little bit better. I like this. There's a really good found work here, but let me just throw something in the mix to just make this stew like really pop. And he definitely did a good job with the zombies aspect to it, because it wasn't just thrown into the story. Nah, it has its own place. It has its own lore to it. It has its own character to it. And I was like, okay.
It felt a part. It felt a part of the story rather than just like an action. That's stuff that just have an action side set pieces. You know?
Exactly. You could tell like the zombies were just tacked on and no thought was really put into it. It's not like that at all. Yeah. In terms of any low points, I would agree that I feel like this deserved a little bit more time.
I think the idea of like doing a series with like a 4-episode series, something like that would make sense. Like just have, because due to how dense this story is, like to have more time to flesh stuff out and to have more interactions with the characters, I think that would have made sense.
For sure. An hour 47 is too dense. You don't have to do 8 episodes or anything. Just, make as much as you need to completely get the story out there. If it's 4 episodes, if it's 5, like that's like nothing. It's like, okay, cool. Watch it, no problem. You'll have the whole story. You'll be like, damn, that was good, man. Or
also, I want to say, like, I just like the sisterhood relationship with like the Bennett sisters, as well as like the parents with like Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. I think it's really interesting, and very well done. What are your thoughts on like the action, like just in general? Like, I thought it was quite good. I thought it was quite good. Not like amazing, but like it was quite good. I enjoyed myself.
So if we have to compare this to an equal, the action in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was a lot more. There was because Abraham Lincoln and what was his partner, the one that taught him? I forget his name.
Anthony Mackie. You mean Anthony Mackie?
No, not Anthony Mackie. The
vampire?
Yeah.
Oh, Henry.
So the way Henry and Abraham worked in terms of their action, obviously because you only have one character, you can divulge a lot more time into having him perfect the skills and really go in with the action. The movie does a great job at that, because that, like, how many times it's just like, yo, this is so fucking fresh, bro. This is so fire. I agree that there are moments where it is, clearly action, but at no time did I ever see any like Bushido. And at any time did I see any like quick draws or just like the mastery of a katana. To an extent, when it came to the sisters and how they fought, I mean, I can't say too much because I haven't seen too many combat fighting in terms of swords outside of fantastical things like the Dynasty Warriors series, or just like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, anything that was a little too fantastical. I haven't seen enough to be able to tell, but from the way they fought, I could see like, they're attacking, they're moving very fluidly, but in terms of the overall, like, if it wasn't a simple decapitation or an exploding of a head, it wasn't necessarily there.
I feel like there could have been more. They could have been a little bit more creative with like the directing of the action sequences, as well as like some of the choreography. Just because like there was times where like, oh, like, this is a really cool moment, but like I feel like it seemed a little bit just dull, or in terms of like how the choreography and how the camera was moving. Like, I don't know.
Because they definitely got you with the POV of how the zombies interacted with people or when they got attacked, and I was like, okay, that's a cool touch.
Like the initial fight when you see like all the sisters together beating like killing zombies, and like it's all like in like slow mo and stuff like that. It should have
been like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when they're in the hallway.
Spoilers.
It should have been like fire.
For instance, because I always when I watch this movie, I always think of like Sucker Punch in terms of like how they did the fighting, like the choreography work, because I said this earlier, but like that, like it's this movie and that movie are like the only movies I can think of that I can think of where you have a group of like badass women fighting in like the forefront, right? Like then you. So like the way Sucker Punch did, like whether like Zack Snyder like did the fights in Sucker Punch, there's that one scene in that movie. It's one of my favorite action scenes ever, where they're in like that World War II like steampunk Nazi segment, and they're all like just fight. They're always like coordinated and just linked and fighting all these guys, and it's like really badass, and like you have very interesting camera work. And I feel like stuff like that could have made the action more like just more like creative choices would have made the action a lot more like memorable for me. But
I
not to say that it still wasn't really fun to see it, you know.
True. Very true. I'm curious. I'm currently shuffling through again, but I know that when they were training together, it like obviously these are all sisters. They all care about each other. They all spend time together, and they train together. But I'm curious if that when they fought, if they fought in a manner that was I'm replaying it right now. So I'm watching them, and it's like, okay, you've got Elizabeth in the front. She's just slashing and striking all the undead. And then the sisters are just kind of like right behind, and they're just waving the spears around or just stabbing and prodding. Yeah, I'm looking at this, and it's a very like just straightforward. We're gonna move the camera back. You guys are just gonna mow them down and watch each other six. But there's not enough like I'm gonna swing you. You're gonna use your momentum to chop 3 guys in half.
Yeah.
And then like it's like a very like we fight together because we train together. We know how to like TMNT kind of shit. Like
exactly.
There wasn't enough of that. Right, it was just a lot of them just like, here's the shot, here's the zombie, kill the zombie, drop them, they're dead. All right, move on to the next one. And sure, it's entertaining, but it's almost like you in a whoa. It's almost used in a way like the simplicity of it, like how Darcy and them were just watching. Like it's just very like I don't know how to explain it, but like it's the same kind of style that Pride and Prejudice is in almost maybe. Where it's just like, here's the characters, here's what's going on, this is part of the story. Okay, now this is how they fight zombies. This is just another aspect of who they are. It's not that fantastical. It's so like normal.
Yeah.
And then it's just part of the story. So it could be like it, I think it might have been a choice so that the difference between the two wasn't so jarring. It wasn't maybe the simplicity, so to speak, of just them interacting, and then suddenly you have like the camera going Sam Raimi mode, and they're just like chopping everything, and then you cut back to a very stable shot, and they're like, "It's quite great to meet you again, sir. Yes, the way you chopped his head off was quite marvelous." It's like maybe it was like shot together, so it didn't like go crazy. But I still agree. Maybe they definitely could have just still went with more because you introduced a great lore. Great characters. It's like you kind of have to go that extra mile when you're talking about the Antichrist and the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's like
yeah, they could have been a little more creative with the fights. Actually, that's just me though. I mean, but
yeah,
but yeah, nah. I'm trying to think of a low point. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe was there a low point? Do you think there was any low points in the writing at all, like in terms of like the dialogue? Like I'm trying to.
I would say that, well, I mean, in Pride and Prejudice, you can't really remove characters because they don't service the story if they're in the previous one, because then it's not, like it doesn't translate too well. Like, oh, she has 4 sisters in this one, but only here she only has 1 sister because the others couldn't really do anything. It's like we have those moments where me and you were both like, which sister is this? Like, does she matter? Not really. It's like, okay. In terms of writing, I suppose that this is another reason why it should have been a little bit longer, because then you could have fleshed out the other sisters more. Because when they're like, oh, we found Lydia, they took Lydia, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm half paying attention low-key, but who the fuck is Lydia?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was like, I know Jane and then I know Elizabeth because they're the most 2 that have the most screen time, but like, what about the other 3 sisters? I was like, I don't give a fuck about them.
That's the thing. Like, if they did a show, like they could have fleshed out more of like each and every sister, not just have 2 in the main. 2 of them in the 2 of them in the forefront, and then like the other one, so like we can know throughout the course of the story like who is who, like
right?
Yeah.
There's like the redhead that looks like Amy Adams. There was she's Lydia. Then you had the one that had glasses, and then just the other one that was just there. And oh wait, no, she was the 3rd pick. The other one that was just there was the 3rd pick, and then the one with the glasses. And then you're just kind of like, okay, I don't necessarily care, obviously, because I'm just like Elizabeth and Darcy. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. Team Zombie Killers, let's go! So yeah, in terms of writing, they could have definitely used a little bit more time.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, here's the thing though, like, Seth Graham Smith, love this universe love this world you've created. It's so fun. Like it's like I'm telling you this. Like if I ever have one in the future. I'm gonna tell my kids that this movie's the actual Pride and Prejudice.
Dad,
so
we learned
funny.
about Abraham Lincoln the other day. Oh, let me show you the real biography that nobody wants to show you. When he fought vampires. Oh, Daddy, I love Pride and Prejudice. Well, here's the movie you should be watching.
Here's the real one. Here's the real one that no one wants, that like your teachers or your college professor won't tell you about. This one right here. This gem.
No,
but yeah.
All in all, this movie is a great watch. It's fun.
It's fun. Like, it's a lot of fun, and like, again, like it's as accurate to the actual like Emily Dickinson novel as it can be. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what makes it even more fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what?
It's a good in between if you want a little bit more action in your standard Pride and Prejudice, but if you don't want that much, hey, you still have Pride and Prejudice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
this gets a thumbs up from me. If you want some nice entertainment with some nice world building and good lore for a different kind of zombie that you might have not seen yet, hey, go for it.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh with like the zombie stuff that we've seen before, you know. So
yeah,
I think so. But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm looking at, because Seth Grahame-Smith's other books, I would be like, because granted, like this movie came out what, like 2000 something. I'm trying to 2000. This came out 2016. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter came out 2012. Like I don't know if, you know, they would ever consider adapting another one of his books again, but I'm looking at Unholy Night. That's a cool concept.
Yeah. What is that concept?
So essentially, it's basically a spin on like the three wise men finding Jesus and Mary and Joseph in the manger, like in the Bible.
Yeah.
So I'll read the synopsis real quick. So it says, like, what if the three wise men were petty murderous thieves who under cover of night stumble upon the celebrated manger with its newborn child? The last thing they'd want would be to be slowed down by Joseph, Mary, and their infant. But when King Herod's men began their slaughter of the firstborns, they were left with no choice but to help the young family on their flight to Egypt. So it's literally like the three wise men helping out, like, Mary, Joseph, and the newborn baby Jesus, but like, it's not like it wasn't their initial intention. It's like something that they were just like so happened to be involved in because they wanted to actually, like, because they're actually like murderous thieves who were probably about to like rob Mary and Joseph. You know what I mean?
But they're like, nah, we can't do that. Yo, they just got a kid. It's like, interesting.
So like, so they have to basically like protect Jesus and Mary and Joseph out of like happenstance, not out of like genuine purpose. Know what I mean?
Word.
That's interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's another kind of take where it's like, I wonder how much. Looking at some of the pictures for it has me kind of curious here. It's another concept here that I think would be an interesting watch, because I like when they try to take new spins on certain things that we already know. You know, like Abraham Lincoln's lore, Pride and Prejudice. So I wouldn't shut down the idea. I'd like to, if I could see like a trailer or something put together for something like this, I'd be interested for sure.
Yeah,
I'd also would be interested in the Last American Vampire, if Dominic Cooper would ever come back for that.
That's the thing. He hasn't written much. Like, I'm even like looking at his big biography, like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Abraham Lincoln Vampire, Unholy Night, and then like The Last American Vampire. Like, I guess his more prominent books out of his bibliography. And he's only written 8 books.
Only 8 books. Yeah.
Yeah, only 8 books. But I think The Last American Vampire would be really cool, just because that one focuses on Henry, like living throughout the years after the events of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So, because like literally, like because the cover for it is literally that iconic photo of that man, of that Navy man and that nurse kissing once World War II was over. Like, you know, that famous like black and white photo, but it's literally just like, instead of that happening, it's this Navy man drinking the blood of this woman, of this nurse. Like, it's kind of wild. So like I want to see how Henry would interpret, you know, the the progress of the United States, like
Since
as
then,
this immortal vampire, you know?
yeah, I would like that because I mean the last one left off when it jumped all the way to modern day, but
Exactly.
seeing his like time in 40s 50s America would be interesting, or even just the World Theater in World War II. Just seeing him like there would be very interesting.
How much you want to bet that ending to that ending to the movie, which was a change from the book, was supposed to set up The Last American Vampire as like a movie?
I would say that it was pretty strong. I'd say that's a pretty strong chance then. I mean, because like besides just looping the beginning of the movie and just being like, oh, he's found another person, it also just leaves like the room available to where he could do the same thing with somebody like at the in the 40s, but like kind of like change it in a subtle way where it's not Henry looking for the next person to indoctrinate into hunting vampires, but it could be somebody doing it to him instead. And he's like, oh, I've heard this one before or something like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Or
because I think I mentioned to you before, I think that when we did the reaction to Abraham Lincoln, but like the actual ending of the book is that like Abraham Lincoln, like when he got shot, Henry turns him, so then he becomes a vampire, and they like become like a immortal vampire hunting duo for like the rest of like, you know, time. So like the idea is like, oh, like maybe Abraham Lincoln's still out there, you know, just fucking killing vampires like in the shadows. Like, but the thing is like it's cool, but I feel like the way the movie ended made a lot more sense. In like, yeah, like Abraham Lincoln just did die, you know, like he died the way he was supposed to, and that Henry was gonna be the one to, you know, keep the legacy alive by recruiting another hunter in like the present, you know.
Yeah, but if it was to do that, then it would have taken the story in a completely different direction. It's not battle. It's not, what is the word? It's like you have a through line of like the actual events, but then it also rises and falls through the timeline with things that, you know, obviously are not real, but like could have happened if it was real. Where it's like, yeah, and his during his presidency, before his presidency, he was fighting off vampires, and then he went through his presidency as normal. But then something threatened the union of the continental United States, so he was back into it. But you know, if it ended with him continuing on to do this and gets turned into a vampire, then it goes into like fan fiction territory where it's like, okay, well, the future continues off, and then you have to really make sure you write a compelling story without that structure of history, or like Pride and Prejudice without the structure of the original material, because people will most likely come to see the familiar things that they notice or that they know from Pride and Prejudice, but here's a little bit of excitement injected into the story.
Yeah, true. But
word.
I want to. I listen, Seth Graham-Smith. If you're out there, like, we know you watch this shit, but like, write more stuff. Like, just write more stuff like this, please, so that it can be adapted to movies so we can watch them.
Yeah, like start taking like I like the idea of taking past literature and then just like changing the story a little bit, like the Moby Dick Frankenstein thing.
That's a cool. Listen, man, you should pitch that. Find him on Twitter and just pitch that to him, please.
That's such a cool concept, bro, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, it doesn't have to be Captain Ahab and Moby Dick from the past. It could always be a modern retelling of the same story. So just to be able to incorporate this steampunk aspect, because I pictured Moby Dick being like the steampunk whale.
Okay, gotcha.
I was thinking like it could be like this homunculi of different parts, maybe like the head of I don't even know, like killer whale, the size of a blue whale, the intelligence of a bull shark or something, and just like this big homunculi of just deadly, not even deadly, but just like very noticeable sea life creatures. And nobody's made a Frankenstein fish before, besides Frankenfish, but that doesn't count.
Frankenfish?
That doesn't count.
Honestly, I would fuck with that. Actually, I just made a discovery. So, Seth Graham-Smith's actually also a screenwriter as well. I guess that's what he branched out into. So, he was actually the one involved with he wrote he did the screenplay for the Lego Batman movie. He also, I think he did the screenplay for It, like the reboot for It. And yeah, so yeah, he's been doing movies right now.
Seth Graham Smith. Interesting.
Yeah, he's a writer and a producer. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but he did the screenplay for it. No, he did the screenplay for Lego Batman, and I think he may have produced it. I'm gonna look up because I went on his Twitter and it said that like and it said it was a part of his resume. Yeah, he produced it. He produced it. The It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right now on IMDb.
Yeah. So I guess that's what he's been doing instead of making more gems like this, but which is good. I mean, he's keeping busy, but yeah,
Interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, he's just become a screenwriter and a producer now, which is great. I mean, that's awesome. But listen, man, pitch that shit to him. Pitch that shit to him, and that makes I think that'd be awesome.
It makes too much sense. Oh shit! No, actually, I'd be curious to see his work on LXG. Just reboot that first, see what he could do with it.
Oh wait, you want him to just reboot LXG to see what he would do with it?
I mean, I'm curious. I gotta think of like who's good at adapting comic books to an extent. One that keeps the spirit true to the original, but also gives you something new in a series format. Just because if you're gonna do a movie again, there has to be like part 1, part 2, part 3. It's like to see like a series format, possibly. Gotcha. I could see like a very HBO kind of show, to be honest.
Gotcha.
No, but to wrap this up though, Mikey, thank you very much for having me on here.
No problem.
Yo.
No
we
problem.
just did for everyone that made it this far, thank you very much for tuning in. Please go to Indie Corner and watch our video where I watched the trailer for the new TMNT Out of the Shadows. No, is it Mutant Mayhem, right?
Mutant Mayhem, yeah.
Mutant Mayhem. Didn't know it was coming out until this morning when he told me about it. Yeah. Please go check the man's stuff out.
It'll definitely be up by the time this is done.
Facts.
No shade.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Word.
But yeah, thanks for having me on here, man. I'm happy that you gave me the platform to talk about how much I love Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and as well as Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, because these are great movies.
For sure, man. I'll try to have them come out a week apart from each other. Just have them back to back. Word. That'll be it from us, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right. Later, people. Should I end the video now? Should I stop recording?